I'm famous. I got the coaches. She's a YouTube star. So I'm gonna keep that label because I'm weird. I'm gonna decoupage with it. Oh, I didn't think to do my lady a note. More Mod Podge. Can't wait to see what you create with some of this. Excited you're partaking in the flipping frenzy. Love, Sonnet. Thanks for the peanuts. It's gonna go all over my living room. Oh, I can't give this away. Are we supposed to give this away? I'll have to reread the rules. Look at that. Have you ever seen anything like that, Mark? Look.
Perfect fit.
Oh. Okay. I think I did my person dirty because these are really cute.
That's right up your alley.
Ooh. Okay, I need to send my person some more. Look at that. Sonnet, you killed it. Okay. Oh my gosh. This is good. I love mustard yellow. Did you know that about me? Oh my gosh. Okay, I did my person dirty. Who's my person? Shelly? I'm sorry, I'm gonna send you a supplementary package. This is good. There's so many options here. You know what I'm saying? There's so many options. We have a theme. We have a theme going. Oh yeah, I gotta send my person some more stuff. This is all the stuff I love. Look at that. I thought we were only supposed to send 5 things. Wood blank. With a bonnet top. This is also my favorite shape. Harvest. Okay. Okay, thank you. All right, so I am trying to just mess around with these things because we're supposed to use whatever they send us and do a project with it. And so I'm just messing around trying to, it was tough. And then I looked up front because I have all my candlesticks together. This is one I put 2 together with E6000 glue. Actually, it was really, really, really tall and it broke because one of them was a ceramic base, so that's the leftover. So I'm gonna kind of do that same theme. I do this all the time with silver trays from Dollar Tree, the little cheap ones, or maybe some you found at the thrift store, some rusty pie pans. If you can find the wooden candlesticks, grab them. Again, I love anything with scallops, and that wood bowl that Sonnet sent me had scallops. So I've been saving this thing. I didn't know what I wanted to do with it, and the scale of that candlestick was perfect. So when you do this technique, you need to pre-drill with a little bit smaller drill bit than the screw you're gonna use. I didn't used to do that. My husband taught me that. I was like, yeah, whatever. I'm not pre-drilling. I'm not taking the time for that. But you will crack your wood if you don't pre-drill sometimes. So, you know, sometimes your people that tell you stuff like this is right. So that's what I do. And then I use a screw and it just shows, but it doesn't matter. Just go for it. I usually paint right over it. Sometimes I put a little air dry clay over it to fill in the little screw part and just really texture the piece. You can do that, and that camouflages it. So that is all I'm doing here. If you do not have a power tool drill, a big one, not a baby Barbie doll one, a big one, you can do so much with it. I would say grab you one at Harbor Freight. So when I sell these, I warn people to not use a real flame candle because it could be top heavy and tip. And as you've seen, I tested that out. It's going to be, so I found a piece of scrap wood that my husband was practicing with a router bit to make it look more fancy. And it was the perfect scale for this thing I was doing. So score, I love to save things. You eventually, after years and years, can say to all the people that gripe about you for hoarding, I finally used it. As you see, I do not measure to find the center of where I'm putting the screw and the top and all the stuff. So all you, I think it's type A people, go ahead and measure. You can look that up on YouTube how to do it. My husband's trying to teach me. I go rogue. And then when people are looking at it, people I want to sell this stuff to, I'm like, hey, close one eye and kind of go like this, and it's just right. I've done a lot of these projects to use for my workshops for people to take home and use in their home. Now, sometimes when you put those screws on the bottom, it will scratch their surface because it sticks out. So I do a technique I call counter setting, and there is a tool to do this, but I don't. I just get a really, really big drill bit the size of the screw head, and then I just dig deep, as you see I'm doing, and just kind of waller out a place for the head to go up in there, and it will not scratch their counter. Okay, let's pull this all together and make it look intentional instead of Frankenstein together. So I am going to leave the surface white because I want a little bit of that to show through on top, and I'm gonna make it chippy and chunky and layered with the salt wash medium. I love this stuff. So I used the little black dress with this and the salt wash and just kept that black look, but having that chippy clay paint of the DIY on it makes it not look like from a factory. And then I also put that in the white swan that I use to do this. So what salt wash does is you put that layer on your base, and then when you go and add a second layer of a different color and that dries, and then you just barely sand it, it will chip off those peaks and then show that color underneath. I love it so much. You've got to try this stuff. All the products I use in this video and the links to them will be in my description box. So here we go. I'm just pulling that base together, and then I like the top. I like the black and white, but I do end up, after putting a layer of white swan on that I know will be a little bit different of the white base, and then I put a really watered down faded burlap in DIY. That is the most perfect neutral. It's just a really good color to make a glaze with. So I wanted all those creamy different whites to show through. And turn your project over. Anytime you can start with a project upside down, a chair, even a table if it's not too big, anything with those little curves and grooves like this, you will miss some. And when you're laying on the floor with your grandkids, playing with your animals, you'll look up under a table and say, oh, I missed all of that. So especially if you're gonna sell this to somebody, think of them. So turn it upside down and you will get things you thought you had done, even no matter how far you squatted down and try to get them. So that's my suggestion. What I have learned when using salt wash is I put just all over one coat, just get it kind of a scratch coat on, and then I go back and stipple it to make the peaks with it. That just works better for me. You can just put it just in corners. I've done that before too, instead of all over. So just this stuff is so fun, and it will make so much details when you go back and either put a glaze over it, like you'll see me do, or you wax, and then the colored wax just hides in the crevices, and you wipe it back and take off the excess, and then the top will be different. I'm telling you, you want some dimension and some old age look, you got to get some salt wash and some colored wax and some DIY paint. You got to have all the things. Okay, squirrel, I just went ahead, and my sign that's going to go in my new booth space for my iron orchid, I've had this thing for years. I've needed to paint it and just never did. So I'm just going for it right now, right in the middle of everything. This is not part of Flippin' Frenzy, but I'm just getting her done. So I just put a base coat of white swan on it. Okay, this is the day I'm supposed to turn this in, and I am still filming, editing, and haven't done all the things. I'm getting a little bit stressed out, but go ahead and watch till the end, because I'm going to show you in between here all the places and ways I used the items that were in that box. Some jewelry displays, some vignettes, so just stay tuned. Caitlin, I am so stressed out. I'm supposed to film and edit and send this video in just a few days, and I haven't even started.
Let me pour you a drink.
Okay. We got this. Oh, what is that?
Water.
Okay, so I watered down really a whole bunch of the faded burlap, and I'm wiping it back with a towel. Now, anytime you use a colored wax, especially with our clay formula that is so porous, I suggest putting clear on it first, wiping that back a little bit, and then just adding the dark or colored waxes wherever you want, some highlights and definition and depth, and then just wipe it back. And now I'm using DIY in black instead of the dark, just because I have a black base and thought that would go better. You could use either. I could have used the shipwreck wax, which you'll see an end picture of the iron orchid sign. It didn't show up very good because the cut of the letters weren't very deep, so I ended up just kind of freehanding some black wax into it to see the IOD. So I'm just taking a pointed brush and just kind of adding it in those little crevices of the scallop that had some engraving in it, and then when I wipe it back, it sticks in the crevices and it looks so good. Now coming up, I decide to use the making powder in Pool Party and Van Gogh, I believe are the colors. They are my favorite things to use to make drippies or just to make definition or really intense pops of color. Use it with an artist brush dipped in water, and then I just dip right into my making powders, and you use a mister bottle or you could just stipple it onto different crevices and it works so good. You can also put wax on and use our dark and decrepit dust, white dust, or the making powders into the wax that you put on, and it'll grab it, and you can stipple and kind of blend it out. You just got to work with these. These are so good. If you're trying to do a blendy look with paint, it can kind of camouflage the line of two colors and kind of help you there. They're just so versatile, and I love them. They're not very much money either for what you get because they last so long. Tip on using our little black dress or black velvet color. Sometimes when it's on a big surface of a dresser or something, I really notice it almost kind of looks like a little bit white or ghosting look type. The way to counteract that is, if you're going to wax the piece, go ahead and put some black wax over your black paint and it will take care of that. Or if you're going to use the big top or liquid patina to seal your black piece, pour a little bit of that paint into your liquid patina or big top, and that will also take that look away. I loved the wood, and where I'm going to use this in my makeup bar studio, there is wood tones, so I thought I would have that kept. And so I used the Spring Melody paint inlay. So this is how you use it with our liquid patina. You can use big top, but the patina is a little thicker, more like paint. So I did not put enough on there and it didn't work. But before I pulled it all the way off, I just reapplied some more liquid patina and put it back down and did it again. The key to leaving the wood tone and using a sealer instead of paint to do this technique is do not let it dry for days and months and even years like you can with paint and go back and do it later. You have a certain amount of time. There is an open time that you need to get the paint inlay off before it goes too hard and it's like a sealer and it's just sealed down and it's just a hot mess to get off, and you have to seal it or sand it to get it off. So just let it dry, let it look a little translucent like you do with paint. You know it's dry and ready, but don't go too long is the key. So I use a dry paintbrush to just make sure the paint inlay is adhered into the liquid patina. You can use a wet sponge or a damp rag, whatever technique works. Okay, so the little baby ones I put around there absolutely did not work. They did not have enough liquid patina. They were too small. I don't know what happened. But because this is paint, I was able to just take my wet washcloth and wipe those off and just forget those. This part is usually so satisfying, but it is like gambling. You don't know if it's going to work, but I'm pretty chancy, so I went for it and it turned out not good. Okay, well, this is where I fix it. I just put a little bit of liquid patina down and put it in, repeat the whole process, and then I had success. After you do that, you let it dry, you put a coat of liquid patina over it to seal the paint. All right, now because the paint is open, you've got to seal it, but you do not want to go back and forth a whole bunch of times because it will smear the paint. Now let's take a look at some of the ways I used the other project. I love this little guy just as is, so I didn't paint him, but I'm gonna show you how to use these. The ones that are a bigger scale of this especially. I've seen on Pinterest they made these into like trees for holidays and stuff and painted them, but I just liked them as is, so I put them in this little container and you can do all sorts of things. Here's another way you can use it. I do all these funky things for my jewelry display. I use a lot of coffee beans there, some rocks from Dollar Tree, some crystals from Hobby Lobby, and just watch how I use this. So what I'm going to show you is not like, oh, that's the best ever, but it will give you the nuts and bolts and hopefully help you think outside of the box when you get these type of things to do something that is, oh, that's so cute or that's so sentimental. Okay, so here it is. So she's cute. I love it as is. Little flameless candle or a for real candle. I showed you the jewelry display. But this is another way I like to use these things. Sometimes you find them bigger and just bigger, the right plate. I could not believe I didn't have the right, everything's in here for this, but we're just gonna go with it. So I've got this. So think about mirrors and frames. I set these on tabletops all the time, even frames that don't have any picture or any glass or anything in them, and then put candles in them and succulents and all sorts of things on my tabletops. So cute. I've even done an event that way. We had all gold frames on the tables, and it was just fun to make a little vignette. I used to call it vignettes, and my friend got on to me, so it's vignettes. I know how to spell it too. Okay, so we're just for an example. We're gonna, well, this in itself would be so cute on that, right? Okay. With the little flameless candle going, the mirrors reflecting the light. Okay, but we're gonna do it like this. Think of these as cloches, okay? Now this one's special. They put some rubber on it so it would, you know, set in there better. So I'd either have to get that off or, but most of the time they're not on there. So let's do this. Oh, I'm about to drop this. Okay, so we're gonna do that. We're gonna do that. You'd want that balance. Don't put a real candle on there if that's not secured down with glue or something. Okay, now we're gonna do, like I said, this isn't the best ever. I'm giving you the nuts and bolts of a great idea. Oh, she's so cute. What time is it? Okay, so, or, I have a fascination with miniatures. Need some greenery or something in there. Or, like whatever you got laying around. And things look better with a friend, and do odd numbers. Like 1 is kind of lonely, but like 3s, or, you know, do odd numbers. It makes it more appealing. Usually the rule in design is 3s. Cloches, just trying to give you the idea. I can't believe I'm putting this on the internet because it's not the best ever, but it's a good idea. Okay, another idea. So you could do this one. Do you see where I'm going? Okay. put this around it. Needs to be a flat plate for that size of cloche. But anyway, so hope that helps. I used my little wooden scallop bowl for a client that I was doing her makeup on because I sell SeneGence makeup, link in the comment. And the products I'm going to use, I had setting on this little bowl, and it just looks so cute. And I love it with the wood inside of the doors. It looks so good.